Today I want to show you the best feeders you can get for your hummingbirds. Whether you spend $4 or $6, these are one of the best. Hi, it's Robbie from Southern California. I'm going to explain to you why they're so good and why they're so unique. The odd thing is this company, which is First Nature, has made multiple feeders, and a lot of them have bigger holes. I've actually got one of them here just to show you the base. This one's got large holes, and it comes with either this size or this size. But this particular one, which is First Nature, and it will say on the back, they generally sell for about $10 to $20. So it's very expensive, but you're paying for, well, their feeder, the way they designed it. Whatever reason is, it's more money. And these are the ones that you want to cut off the pieces, but it's another video because there's a dangerous space here. And I've got a whole video on that if you're using the large holed ones, because you'll want to alter this pretty much immediately because this can take out a bird. Otherwise, it's perfect. This is just one I keep for demonstrations because I show in the video how to cut it. So this is one feeder. Let me show you the best one. These two are from Walmart. Now, I have nothing to do with Walmart, but I have spoken to the company. I've called First Nature, and it was interesting to find out that Walmart, somebody designed this for First Nature to make exclusively for Walmart. So as of now, you can't get it anywhere else, this particular feeder. Sure, you can find it on eBay, you can find it online because they're selling it third party. They've bought it from Walmart and then they're selling it. But let me tell you why it's so good. Number one, let's talk about the one that's $4. It is the perfect size. These are like 16 ounces. You don't need bigger normally. It's got beautiful holes here for the birds to sit, with the perch around them. Now, some of us don't like the little slit. The reason the slit is so tiny, it's washed, so it's dripping because I'm going to put it out soon. The reason people don't like the little slit is some of the hummingbirds don't like it. And I understand that because we have thousands of hummingbirds and not all birds are created equal. Just like people, we're not all created equal. We all have our likes and dislikes. So there is a fix, and I'll show you in a minute. But the thing is, the reason the slits are so small is to make it bee-proof. They have a little bit of a rise, the smallest amount, and then the bees can't get in it. And it works. It does work really good as long as your hummingbirds will feed out of it and that it's, they're not finicky. It comes apart so easy to clean. All you have to do is take this off. This comes apart. And it's just the easiest thing to clean. I wouldn't put it in the dishwasher because it could warp and then you'll have problems. Just wash it by hand, a little bit of Dawn soap or something, just the smallest amount, soap and water. And if you run it under the hottest water from your sink, it will get rid of almost anything that could be growing in there. So a little soap and water if you want, at least once a day if you're taking it in. I'm taking mine in like 4 times a day. And I've got even separate sets all over the place here. But the point is, I would give it a good washing once a day. Now, if you're leaving your feeder out for 3 days, it's not that hot. A lot of us, some of you, do it in the winter. Then when you take it in, wash it. Take it apart, wash it. If you have to, you can get a tiny mascara brush or a pipe cleaner and get into the holes and scrub it because it will build up. Even the best washing, it's just going to be soil building up that the hummingbirds have brought, whether it's pollen from their beak or a little nectar, it will get in there. So maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, get in there with a pipe cleaner or a mascara brush, and that will do it. If you need to, the top sometimes, this is just a flat top, that does come off too, and you can scrub that up really good, and then give it a good snap, and you're good to go. Make sure it's closed good, and you don't have to worry about any warning on these because no bird's going to get hurt. You've got a good space there, so you can see the space difference between these two. This one, you can't even get your fingernail through, where this one's got a big space. This is a different model. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the exclusive one that you get from Walmart. So you've got this one. Now, this one is bee-proof, but it is not ant-proof. And we can make ant moats for nothing, and I've got videos on that if you need perfect ant moats. You just make the ant moat like I show you on any of the videos that I make ant moats on, hang it from there, and the ants can't get to it. Ants are the easiest thing to get rid of. Now let me show you the second one. This one is $6, $5.90 something. Same thing. It comes apart just like the other one. It's basically the 3 pieces. You're going to wash it the same way, and notice the space is so much bigger than on this model. I think they just weren't thinking when they made it. They may not have known. See, it's a big space. Again, a different model. This is Walmart. It's a smaller base. If you compare it, you can see this one is bigger. They made this one larger. Again, different model. But this one is safe. The thing is, it also has very small holes. And for some of the finicky hummingbirds, if they don't like it, it could be an issue. I've got some that don't like it, but the other problem is, I don't know if you can see them off behind me. I know it's really hot right now and they're out in the trees, but we have a lot of orioles this time of the year, and they want to feed out of it too. This they cannot feed out of. In no way. No bees can get to this one. No orioles can get to this one. And the good thing about this particular bigger one, I think it's 32 ounces, is it's got an ant moat. Now, it's small, but if you put water in there and it's hanging, there's no way the ants can get across. It may dry up by the end of the day. So if you're home, refill it with a little bit of fresh water. Please don't put vinegar in there. Don't put soap in there. Don't put oil in there. Because a lot of times the hummingbirds come and they see this, and I've seen them take a drink of water out of it. If there's oil or vinegar or anything toxic, and that is toxic for them, that can be the end of the hummingbird. So don't put anything like that in there. Some people put cinnamon. I don't think that's going to hurt anything, but it's not going to work. Just put water and you're good to go. And if you want, you can still make an ant moat for this. Now, I do use these for all the orioles that come. Now, how do I do that? I make the holes bigger. There are a couple different ways of doing it. One is taking your soldering iron. You can plug it in, in the house, outside. I suggest to use it outside. I have a flash fish, which is a power station. I love it because it's great for emergencies when the power goes out. I plug in the soldering iron, I go outside, and then I make holes in here, usually from the back to the front. I make the holes just a little bit bigger. I go through each one, make sure the hole is clean. If it's not, get a stick in there and scrape it. And then you can give it a good wash and you can put it together. And now the orioles can get their tongue in there. That is one way. The other way is I use a drill, and this is a cordless drill. And I also use different step drills, and that's what this is called. These are smaller ones, which are really, really good. I have multiple sets. I just haven't opened this one. And this one's really big. But if you've got a good steady hand, you could just make it a little bit, bigger, the hole with this one. But if you're afraid you're going to slip in, get the ones that are a little smaller. But I use these and this for making holes in buckets and everything, dish pans, totes, all around here in the garden. I love this. I have power at my hands. This is quicker. Whoops, hold on. This is quicker. It does do kind of a clean hole, but sometimes you have to go in there and scrape it. And that way you can feed orioles, you can feed bees as well. So this no longer will be bee proof. If you've got a bee problem, then you don't want to do that. So you may not want to go ahead and make those holes bigger. So you'll have to analyze. I have 2 sets. When the bees aren't around, I go ahead and leave the bigger ones out there with the bigger holes that I made. When the bees are around, I swap over and I use the one with the smaller slits, and the hummingbirds just have to deal with it until the bees disappear, and then I go ahead and put the bigger holes in. The other thing I do, because we have thousands of hummingbirds, is I make extra holes. And believe it or not, they're all happy here because there's so much food out. They don't have this panic of, oh my gosh, there's not enough food. We have to push the other guy over. We've got to fight for our space. They don't need to fight. They'll actually sit next to each other and they'll feed out of the different holes. Have you ever seen a hummingbird come to a hummingbird feeder and you can't figure out why he sits here and takes a drink and then he gets up and flies over here and takes another drink? It's kind of like natural to them to go from flower to flower to flower, because in their mind there's only so much at that hole and so much at that hole, so they kind of move around a little bit. They do learn after a while, that a lot of them, that oh, there's going to be plenty there, and they just keep drinking. But some of them will move around. I think it's adorable because it's their natural instinct to move from flower to flower. But I'm going to tell you, These $4 feeders are the best. Some of you are saying, oh my gosh, plastic. In the hottest weather, go ahead and make some covers. As you can see behind me, I've got videos on how I make covers for shade. Also, it's good for the rain, and you'll be okay. This is going to be fine. The problem with glass or metal is in the heat, it gets hot. They'll actually burn themselves if they land on a metal, perch, or this would get way too hot if it was glass. They wouldn't even be able to drink out of it. They will burn their tongue. That's how hot the glass gets. Plastic doesn't get hot, so you don't have to worry about it. So I'm hoping I'm giving you thoughts on where you can get your hummingbird feeders. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to go out and spend $30, $40. I've looked at some of those feeders, and some of them just have so many little cute doodads on there that it only gives you more place to scrub and get the black mold off that eventually accumulates because they're bringing it in. They're going around the house looking for spider webs and picking out little insects. They're picking up all kinds of stuff. They're landing on power lines that's got the horrible plastic. They get it on their feet. They take a bath. They wipe their beak, and they get it on there, and then they stick it in here. It's not going to kill them. You're just going to wash it off. But the point is, it can get into things, and so just give it a good wash, and keep in mind that glass gets hot, metal gets hot. You want to be able to wash it, and you don't want it to get too hot, because the hotter it gets in there, the more the bacteria or anything that gets in there will grow. That's just the way it is for every place and anywhere. They're not going to stay cool, but they're only going to get as hot as the temperature is. They can't get hotter, where glass heats up, holds the heat, and it could get hotter. So these to me are my favorite. As you can see over my shoulder, I don't think there's any birds there right now because it's so hot. But the point is, right now, these are my favorite. I've been using them for years, and these are the ones that have brought me from one hummingbird to thousands, this feeder. So I hope I'm giving you thoughts and ideas. Leave me your comments. What feeder do you like using? Do you not use this? Do you use it with the holes made bigger? Do you take a soldering iron and make your holes bigger, or do you just use it as it comes? And are you going to add in a few extra holes for those hummingbirds that want to try something in between? I want to see what you have to say. So with that, have a wonderful day. Don't forget to eat what you grow. I wish I could grow sugar, but I couldn't grow the hundreds of pounds we buy. But oh well, we eat what we grow. Bye-bye, everybody. Best feeder in the world. Oh my goodness. And just make sure you screw it on right when you're filling it, and then when you go outside, flip it over and hang it up. I've never had one leak yet.